Did white hunters use black babies as alligator bait? Welcome to episode 3 of Hidden History, where we discuss the creepy, crazy, and covered up parts of American history. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, it was widely reported that hunters in the South used black babies to bait alligators. Specifically, a September 21st, 1923 title from the Oakland Tribune says, "Pickaninny bait lures voracious gator to death." In case you didn't know, pickaninny is a racial slur describing small black children. Specifically, the reporter who wrote the article, T.W. Villers, says that these little black morsels are more than glad to be led to their sacrifice and do their part in luring these big Florida gators to their fate, and that there's nothing terrible about it. Throughout the early and mid-1900s, the word alligator bait became a slur for black children. Please share this hidden history with someone who doesn't know and comment what I should explore next.
Stop spreading those rumors around. Stop spreading the lies. Look at all these rumors surrounding me every day.
Have you ever been curious about the origin of African American names? Names are a super important part of African American culture, as our ancestors had their names ripped away and replaced during the transatlantic slave trade. Over time, we started using our names as a way to express our cultural identity. Unfortunately, there are many problematic cases of people making fun of our names, and there are even studies that show that bosses avoid hiring employees with black-sounding names, even when they have the exact same resume as someone else. Let's explore the origin of these names, starting with those derived from Arabic. So in the early 1900s, a lot of prominent activists started joining the Nation of Islam, a political and religious movement of black Americans that started in cities like Detroit and Chicago. After converting to Islam, a lot of them changed their given names to names of Arabic origin, like Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali and Malcolm Little to El Hajj Malik El-Shabazz. Later on, it became a more widespread practice in the black community to give children these names of Arabic origin like Jamal, Aliyah, Latifa, Kareem, Aisha, or my name, Khalil. Follow for more. So as widely requested, welcome to part 2 of the origin of African American names. Today we're looking at names derived from the French language. So as a quick history lesson, the area that we now know as New Orleans was first home to the indigenous Chitimacha people that was colonized by the French, the Spanish, and the French again, and became a state in 1812. Because of the harsh conditions of sugar farming and production, the wealthy white French population sought large amounts of slave labor. By 1840, New Orleans had the biggest slave market in the entire United States. Because of this, many African American names stem from French first and last names. For example, Beyonce's first name comes from her mother's maiden name, which is a French word that means beyond others. Beyonce's maternal family are Louisiana Creoles, which generally refers to people from Louisiana of mixed racial heritage. Over time, the migration of black people from Louisiana and other Western French colonies like Haiti popularized the use of French-sounding names in African American culture, like Monique, Antoine, Solange, and LeBron. Next, we'll look at names that have an origin in continental Africa. Follow for more. Hey everyone, and happy Black History Month. So seeing as I'm a black person and a history major at Yale, I thought it would be a good idea to share some fast facts about this important celebration. First, Black History Month was created in 1926 and initially only lasted a week and was referred to as Negro History Week. Second, it was started by a man named Carter G. Woodson, a University of Chicago and Harvard graduate from New Canton, Virginia. Third, it became a month-long celebration in 1976, and the month of February was chosen to coincide with the birthdays of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln. Fourth, other countries like Canada and the UK have their own versions of Black History Month to celebrate the contributions of black people to their nation's history, but in the UK it starts in October. Fifth, in his own words, President Gerald Ford officially recognized Black History Month to seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history. This is why there's no White History Month, because the accomplishments of white Americans are widely and routinely celebrated. And last, every year since 1928, every Black History Month has had an official theme, and this year the theme is The Black Family, Representation, Identity, and Diversity. Follow for more. Did racism start the Salem witch trials? Welcome to episode 2 of Hidden History, where we discover the creepy, crazy, and covered up parts of American history. Now, you may already know the Salem witch trials as one of America's worst examples of intolerance, paranoia, and misogyny. But did you know that Tituba, an indigenous slave from the Caribbean, was one of the first accused, likely due to her traditional religious practices? One day in 1692, 2 girls started showing strange symptoms like convulsing and hysterical crying. Tituba tried to help the girls by baking them a cake and performing a ritual she learned from her island home. The girls and their father ended up accusing Tituba of witchcraft and blaming her for their symptoms in the first place. The master, Reverend Samuel Parris, then beat Tituba into a public confession and coached her on what to say. She was sentenced to jail afterward, and her testimony was used to spark the witch hunt. Years later, Tituba was released, but because she was a slave, she had no rights and no property. She disappears from the historical record from that point on. Follow for more.
Right, I'm ready to help. Oh no, I'm not. I'm part of the problem too.
Hold up. Roll it on my wrist. Roll it on my bitch.
What?
30 on my waist.
What?
30 to your face.
Yeah.
60 to your face.
Yeah.
90 to your face.
Yeah.
That's a closed case.
Yeah.
You an old nigga.
I'm a genius. I'm a fucking genius. Like,